What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Meek, the Uber Geek. Welcome to Pretty Dece, your daily entertainment and pop culture show. Today on the show, we're going to talk about the Deadpool 2 trailer that just came out. We have some information here, a lot more information than before, about the plot now of Deadpool 2, what exactly Deadpool's getting into in this movie, and how Cable factors in. And we find out, a little bit more of like who's going to be in this movie, what kind of the ensemble cast looks like, and of course we get a little, info on some of the gags and stuff that they're going to pull because they've put them here in the trailer. So first of all, the big question with Deadpool 2 as we get near its release is, can they do it again? So the original Deadpool was, had the surprise factor, right? People didn't really know what to expect. They knew who Deadpool was, and they knew kind of generally what his shtick was, but the movie was kind of an unknown, and it knocked it out of the park, right? They really hit that kind of fourth wall breaking, very kind of just like vulgar silliness that really, I think, resonated with people and resonated with fans of Deadpool. And the question is, like, can they surprise people again, or do people just kind of know what they're getting out of Deadpool? So is it just diminishing returns now, doing it again? And, I think with this trailer it shows that they're going to be able to do it again, all the same stuff. And I think they're going to be able to build on it in a way that does make it feel fresh, does make it feel new, and makes it worth a sequel. And, the first obvious way it's better than the original, or bigger than the original at least, is that it seems like they have a bigger budget. It's very clear from just them being in the X Mansion in the trailer and, just like spinning around in Charles Xavier's chair, and even just the like larger ensemble cast, that there's a lot more money behind this film now that it is a proven entity. So I think that a lot of that will go hopefully towards making the movie better instead of just putting more people in the movie. I think that the right people are at the helm to make that happen and use that money wisely. And this trailer, of course, gives us our first real look at Cable. Of course, we knew Josh Brolin was playing Cable. We knew he was in the film, obviously. But this is like our first kind of real taste of like what he sounds like, how he acts, and what his motivations are in this film. And Cable is exactly what I want in this trailer. He's this super serious, just no-nonsense guy. He's very much a soldier. And yeah, came from the future on a mission and just doesn't really care who gets in his way. He's the perfect foil to Deadpool, right? He doesn't crack jokes, and Deadpool is only jokes. That's why those two work so well together. So it's exciting to see, our first taste of Deadpool just kicking butt and taking names in this trailer. And the trailer is chock full of gags, even the stuff where they're just doing the normal trailery type stuff. It took me 2 watches to even really like clue into what I was seeing. But at one point in the trailer, they actually show from the studio that brought you 27 dresses and the devil wears Prada. So every inch of this thing is just packed with gags and ridiculousness, which is much, much welcome in this trailer. I really like just kind of turning the trailer format on its head, which is what they've done with all of the Deadpool 2 teasers and now trailers up until now. It's very cool. And of course, the big meat of what we learn in this trailer is that Wade Wilson, Deadpool, forms X-Force in this movie. So he assembles this crew of superheroes to take on and fight Cable, and he makes them, of course, very derivative of the X-Men, which they point out in the movie, and he forms X-Force. What we know behind the scenes is that an X-Force movie has been greenlit by 20th Century Fox. It's on the docket. It's coming up. We don't know about a release date, but last I heard, it was going to be directed by Drew Goddard, who is the director of Netflix's Daredevil series. So if you're a fan of Daredevil, X-Force is going to be headed up by him. So, potentially a pretty different feel than Deadpool, but maybe not. Who really knows at this point? We don't know anything about that film. This movie, Deadpool 2, seems like it's going to be kind of the origin of X-Force, and they're going to spin X-Force out into their own film, which I think is a really smart way to do it. Very cool. It's going to make people interested in X-Force that maybe initially wouldn't have been, or it's going to at least cause a lot more interest in X-Force just because it came from what's going to be such a popular movie in Deadpool 2. Now, you might be asking, what the heck is X-Force? is this something made up for this film? Is this an actual thing from the comics? Yes, it is an actual comic book team. X-Force was a team and a comic series that started in the 90s at the height of just the kind of over-the-top, ridiculous action that was going on in comics at the time. The height of kind of very questionable, very bad art when you go back and look at it now. But it's very of its time, of its place. That is X-Force. X-Force has kind of shifted team members throughout the years, but it revolved around Cable. So Cable actually created the X-Force in comics, and they would often fight Deadpool. And it's interesting that in this movie, that's kind of reversed. So it seems like from the trailer that Deadpool is going to create X-Force to combat Cable. So a really fun twist on how it happened in the comics. But it revolved around Cable. Cable himself is the son of Cyclops and Jean Grey, so two of the main members of the X-Men. And the version of Cable that we know is returned from the future, a possible future timeline, and he's trying to kind of write the past and make it so that the future that he's from is not going to happen, it's not going to carry out in the way that it did, where he came from. So, really weird time travel trippy stuff. That's who Cable is, that's why he's on his mission. But clearly the X-Force we're getting here, while it might contain some of the same characters, is going to be drastically different because it's formed by Deadpool and not Cable himself. And, of course, we get a little taste of some of the team members. We get to see Domino, who is going to be a member of the X-Force team. And finally, we get to see Terry Crews himself, who is everyone's favorite kind of buff comedian actor. He's going to be in the film. He's going to be a member of X-Force, it seems. Not sure what character he's playing, but this is kind of the first real confirmation that Terry Crews is going to be in this movie, which is something that I'm very excited about. So lots of cool stuff there to look forward to in Deadpool 2. I'm pumped about this movie. They make a gag at the end of the trailer about not even needing a third movie, but definitely hope this is a franchise that continues at least for a third, and I'm excited to see what they do in a spin-out X-Force movie, because I think that could be equally as awesome. But we'll definitely know more as we get closer to the release of Deadpool 2, and of course, once it comes out, we will know everything. So I cannot wait for that. So that's going to do it for Pretty Dece for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Make sure that you like Pretty Dece on Facebook at facebook.com/PrettyDeceShow, and follow me on Twitter at PrettyDeceShow. I'll be back tomorrow for another daily episode. In the meantime, subscribe to the YouTube channel, which you can find by going to PrettyDeceShow.com/video. Subscribe to the podcast and subscribe in the Anchor app so you never miss any of the content.